Coming up next, I'm going to share some exercises to help you with difficult decisions. And then the 3 C's that will help those of you that are stuck get unstuck. We'll take your calls and your chats, and it all starts right now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and then how you get there. We're talking about your purpose, your why at work, because we believe that you were created to fill a unique role. That means you are needed, and it means you must do it. Simply put, somebody out there needs you to be you. You were given talent. That's what you do best. You were given passion. Work you love to do, that you long to do. And you were given a sense of mission. Results that when you see them, results that when you create them, it fills your heart. Talent, passion, mission. When you use what you do best, talent, to perform work you love to do, your passion. To produce results that matter deeply to you, mission. You're in your sweet spot. And in that sweet spot or your contribution zone, there are multiple dream jobs and career paths to those dream jobs. So soak in that and get excited about that. And that the answers lie within you. And it's my job to help you identify those answers, pull the patterns, come up with a plan, and cheer you on. 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. Get to your calls in just a few moments, but I saw a great article from Business Insider, exercises to help you make difficult career decisions. And we get these calls all the time, A, B, and C. And I have my process that I walk through, and it mirrors this, but these are some really good exercises. I thought, I want to share this with the audience. So the first exercise is think about your future self. And this is something that I talk about a lot on the show. I'll talk about, you don't want to get to the end of your life and look back on it and experience regret. What you want to do is get to the end and look back and just be full of reminiscing. So I want to reminisce, not regret. And that's what I challenge you all. So think about that future self. And so if you got a decision before you, option A, B, or C, whatever it is, think about that future, a year down the line, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, whatever that number is, to get you really thinking in the future and go, will I regret not taking this opportunity? Number 2, fall back on your values. Again, the way that they define values is, again, it's very much in line with what I'm teaching you all. What are the results that matter to you? Is this going to help you create more results? Is it going to help you actually, for the first time, experience the results that you want to create? Number 3, play it out, role play it. This is an interesting idea here. For one day, act as if you've chosen one option. And how does it make you feel? How does it make you think? How do you act? How's it sitting with you? And then for another day, act as if you've chosen option B. Number 4, make a snap judgment. They recommend on a piece of paper, write down the decision as a yes or no answer. And leave it as yes or no, and then come back after a few hours and circle one. Pretty interesting. But I like that because it allows you a little bit of time away, and it allows the brain and the heart to communicate to each other. And that snap decision is really never a snap decision. And finally, walk through the worst case scenario. If I choose option A, B, or C, what is the absolute worst that can happen? I love, love, love that exercise because I think that that's where fear really gets put on trial. Well, what's the worst that can happen? I do this all the time with you callers. You call in. If I do this, Ken, I'm really afraid. What are you afraid of? I say, write down the absolute clear fear. Write it down clearly and look at it. Well, I'm afraid that I'm going to fall into financial ruin. Okay. Is that actually a worst case scenario? And many times we find that it isn't. So what is the actual worst case scenario? And when we play that out, we see, oh, well, that's not destructive. And we go, well, then I'm actually afraid of a monster that doesn't exist under the bed. I think there's a monster under the bed, but now I found out there's no monster under the bed. So great stuff there from Business Insider. Really, really good. 844-747-2577 is the number to jump in. 844-747-2577. 2577. All right, let's get to the phones. Emily is up next in Shelby, North Carolina. Emily, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, how are you?
Emily, I'm living the dream. What's going on with you?
So I feel like I have no passion for anything career-wise, and I really don't know what I want to do or how to find my passion.
Wow. That sounds really depressing, doesn't it?
It is.
Yeah, but that's not true. What if I told you that that's not true? What if I told you that the way I define passion is work that you love to do, a task, things that you just look forward to doing. When you're in the middle of it, time seems to stand still, and you lose track of time, and it produces a result that you get excited about. What if I told you that that's what's really true, and either you haven't realized it yet or you haven't experienced enough of life to figure that out? But what if I told you that you actually do have things that you like to do, that you look forward to do? There are actually results that you would like to create in this world. That's mission. And if we look at some of those answers and you start to spit those out, we're going to see some patterns. What if I told you that's true?
I'd be pretty excited. I want to know how to figure that out.
All right, we're going to figure it out. How long have you been listening to the program?
A couple of months. I was listening to Dave Ramsey, and I kind of found you off that.
Good. Well, welcome. So, talent, passion, mission. That's how we begin to get the answer to what do I want to do with my life. But before we break that down, I'm just wondering how old you are now, and then was there a time in your life when you wondered, like a child wonders on Christmas morning, what's under the tree? Have you ever wondered about doing something? Wondered what that would be like? How old are you? And then have you ever done that? Give me those two answers.
I'm 20 years old. I actually was going to school for nursing. I got my associate's degree, my prereqs and all that, Associates of Arts. And I actually got into the nursing program, and I started working at a hospital, and I just realized I hated everything about it.
Oh.
And I feel like I spent so much time on nursing, I never really gave myself a chance to explore other options.
Mm-hmm. And as a result, you're feeling tremendous disappointment and confusion.
Yes.
All right. So let's break this down for a moment. Is there before I do this, is there anything else you wondered about besides nursing?
I wondered about teaching, but I like the idea of working with kids, but it just kind of seems like everything else that comes with the job might kind of ruin it.
Okay, great. I get that. So let's focus on the part about the kids. Why do you want to work with kids? And forget job title for a second. Forget about where in the marketplace of jobs and the economy that you would fit. What kids would you work with? Who would you want to work with? What type of kids? What are they dealing with? Is it just is it just caring for them and playing with them and creating with them? Is it something more intense? I want to know more about this. Who would you work with? What type of kids and how would you work with them?
I really like younger kids. I also really thought about doing speech therapy. My little brother, when he was about 5 or 6, he never talked, so he had speech therapy, and I would sit in there and I would watch it, and it just like the thought of helping kids that need help in like certain areas.
I love that.
It's really interesting to me.
I love that. And let's pause this part of the conversation. What did you think you were going to like about nursing? Since you said you hated everything about it, is that really true?
Honestly, the only thing I thought I'd like about nursing was the money, and it's just like I knew everything about nursing pretty much already. My mom's a nurse, 2 of my cousins are nurses.
Oh.
And so pretty much everybody in my family's a nurse, so I just felt like...
Well, Emily, now this makes sense. You only wanted to do it because you said it was a good career, and it is. It's a good job. But you never there was no why behind being a nurse other than the paycheck. So that explains it.
Exactly.
Well, can I just encourage you? You shouldn't be discouraged about that because you actually chose something because you didn't know me yet. You hadn't listened to the Ken Coleman Show, and you made a decision that a lot of people make. That's what they think about work. Work is only this thing I do to live. So I got to go find something that pays me really well. And then you actually get in there and you realize how much you hate it and you're miserable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But can I encourage you? You should not be discouraged or confused because it's not in your sweet spot. So the sweet spot for you, Emily, and for every person on the planet is think of it as a big, giant contribution zone in the world of work, okay? And there are multiple jobs and career paths and even multiple dream jobs for Emily and for Ken. As long as I am using what I do best, my talent, Emily, the things you do best, you've got a list of top skills or talents that could be honed into a sharp skill. And so you use those as tools because that's what you do well. And then you find the work you want to do. And let's just say it's working with kids right now, because I think there's a pretty clear idea here. And so we go, okay, I want to work with kids. I love listening to kids, helping kids, serving kids, encouraging kids. Is that all true?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's passion. And then the results of that work, Emily, is mission. Why do I want to work with kids? Because my brother struggled to talk and I saw a speech therapist change his life. That began to awaken something in your heart, didn't it?
It did.
You sat and watched that, and on some level you were fascinated by it, but then it moved your heart, didn't it? Do I hear some emotion in you?
Yeah. I've just been struggling with this for such a long time. Like, it kind of just feels like I went to school for nothing. Like, I went for 2 years.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Listen, Emily, you're 20. You didn't waste your life. If I had a 50-year-old on telling me the same thing, I'd tell them you didn't waste anything. There's something that you gained out of that 2 years of school experience. Something you gained.
Yeah.
You learned something. You know what the good news is?
I did.
You know why I'm proud of you, Emily?
Why?
Because you barely know me. You heard about me by listening to the Dave Ramsey show. You've only listened or watched the show for about 2 months. And you had the courage to not only call me and talk about this, but you had the courage to walk away from nursing where a lot of people never would. They'd spend their whole life being miserable because it's a good paycheck. And they'd be worried about what other people think about walking away from a nursing career. They would be worried about not making enough money anywhere else, and they would just stick it out. That's not what I teach. That's not what I believe. And I believe, Emily, that you were put on this earth to pour into children. Now, we got to figure it out. You're not limited, Emily, to being a speech therapist or a teacher. And I love how honest you are. By the way, you've told me enough. You don't need to be a teacher because all that other stuff, you don't want to stand up and you don't want to do lesson planning. True or false?
True.
You don't want to stand up and speak publicly every day. True or false?
Very true.
You don't want to do paperwork and deal with parents and all that other crap that comes with being a teacher. True or false?
Very, very true, yes.
What you want to do is influence the lives of children in a way that makes their lives and their parents' lives better. Is that true or false?
True.
So how many different ways, Emily, and you don't have to have the answer to this, but would you say that there are multiple different ways that you can influence the lives of kids and their parents to make both parties' lives better? There are multiple ways to do that you can get qualified and really enjoy.
Yeah, I would say that.
I know that.
Definitely.
So here's your homework assignment. Your homework assignment is to look into all the different jobs. Let's start with some therapy, occupational therapy, could be physical therapy. I don't care. You just need to look into it. But where it is specialized in helping kids. You may find that you want to do some type of working with kids that struggle with maybe something severe like autism or something else, and they have a clinician who recommends treatment programs, and then they need a person who's just actually there carrying them out in the home with the parents and the kids. I don't know where this is going to go, and you don't need to put that pressure on yourself. But you start to begin to say, okay, who are the kids? And here are the questions I want you to write down, Emily, that you got to answer. Okay, you ready? Who are the kids I most want to help? Describe them. What's the problem they have? Or the need, or the challenge, or the desire? And then what are the solutions that will help solve those problems? Emily, that's all you got to answer. And when you answer that, there are going to be jobs that pop up and you go, oh, ding, ding, ding. There's 3 different ways I can do this. And now we are clear. That's stage 1. There's 7 stages to meaningful work. Stage 1 is get clear, talent, passion, mission. I also want you to go to my website and get the Career Clarity Guide and just walk through that. okay? Because it's what we kind of started walking through. And then I want you to, once you get clear, you're ready to start getting qualified. Okay, so if I wanted to do occupational speech therapy, what are the qualifications? Well, once I figure that out, I go, how much is that going to cost and how long is it going to take based on my financial situation? Now I got a goal and I got a mountaintop, a professional pinnacle, Emily, that I'm going after, okay? And once you get that, kiddo, you're getting after it and you're making connections at stage 3. I also want you to go to my website. When you're there getting the career clarity guide, I want you to download the 7 stages to meaningful work, okay? It's just a PDF that you can print out, put on your refrigerator or your mirror in your bathroom or your closet door. And I want you to have that in front and center where you see it every day so that you know at 20, you've got plenty of time and you have a clear path forward. Do you understand?
Yes.
Emily, you got this. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling. 844-747-2577. That's why I do what I do right there, Joe. Listen, folks, if you got a light bulb that's not on, call me. I am a professional light bulb fixer. I figured it out, Joe. Best-selling author. Nationally syndicated radio show host. Speaker. Whatever. You know what I am? I'm a light bulb fixer. That's what I am. And I like that better. Because everybody, Joe, as you know, has got a light bulb. And when the Emilys of this world can figure out that it's in the middle of their sweet spot, and they figure out, okay, I can get clear, and that light bulb goes bing, and it's just light everywhere. You know, one of my favorite things to do is walk in a dark room and flip a light on. What a game changer. And that's what we're doing here on the Ken Coleman Show. Come on. Who needs a light bulb fixed? Let's go. Anthony is up next in Miami, Florida. Anthony, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet. How can I help?
Awesome. So I'm 33 years old. I live in Miami, Florida, so South Florida. I really love it down here. I love the lifestyle, the beaches, all that kind of stuff, of course. I found my passion and my ideal work about 5 years ago.
What is that?
And I'm currently working in a...
Hold on. Hold the phone. What is it?
It's video content production, specializing in video production and photography.
Great.
And now I'm doing into marketing and all that kind of stuff.
All right,
analytics.
You keep going. I just wanted to know what the professional pinnacle was. Video production and photography. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, it took me a long time to figure that out, but I figured it out, thankfully. And I'm working in that field right now, doing a little bit something different. I'm more of the strategy and analytics and content strategy. So it's really cool. I got an offer with a company I used to work for back home in St. Louis, Missouri. And it's a great company, great culture, potential long-term, I would be going into that job, long-term, 10 years down the road. So it's a career, and I'd be doing kind of similar stuff, a little bit more operations, like camera operations instead of strategy, but it's still kind of in the same field. And the question I have is I'm kind of at this crossroads where it's like I got the lifestyle that I really love on top of the career and down here in Florida, and back home I would have more of the career but less of the lifestyle. Like it's St. Louis is it's a fine city, but it's not my ideal play. Like down here I'm really inspired by the nature, the people, and back home in St. Louis it's just a little bit different.
All right, let me stop you for a second. Let me stop you.
Yeah.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, your dream job is video production and photography. That means you're doing the shooting and the editing and the planning and the content and all of that. Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of a dream job. And if you want to go a step further, it would be for a company like, I'm just throwing this out there, like Margaritaville Resort. That would be handling their social media content, their photography, their video. That would be like the dream job.
Right. But my point is, you're the one coming up with the ideas, seeing it and filming it and being involved with the editing and all of that. Correct?
Exactly. Yes.
All right. So where I'm a little bit off is this St. Louis job. It's an operations role, the way you described it. I understand it's in the video production sector or field, but unless I'm missing something, am I right? It's an operations job?
it's more of the operations. It's more of like handling the cameras, handling the photos, a little bit less the analytics, the strategy, the leadership.
Okay, so it is more in line with the dream then. St. Louis is more in line with the creative content and making it happen. Yes?
Well, I took this job down in that's a good question. I took this job down in Miami about a year ago, and it introduced me to the content strategy and the analytics side of it, and I'm good at that as well. And it's something that I
wait a second.
About doing too. So,
I know, but what I'm trying to do is help you as your career coach. Forget St. Louis or Miami. The issue is, I don't care if it's Timbuktu. What gets you higher up the ladder? What keeps moving you up the mountain to the dream job? Is it St. Louis or is it the current gig in Miami? Because it feels like in Miami you're doing a little bit of content strategy and you're doing some analytics, but you're not actually holding the camera. Or are you? Are you creatively coming up with, sounds like content strategy is the creative side of you, but then you got this analytical side of you. So again, I don't want to waste a bunch of time going back and forth here, but if your dream job is to be working for a big time brand like Margaritaville and you're coming up with, we need to go do this type of video and we need to tell these kinds of stories, and you're like a director producer, is that what the dream role is?
I think down the road, yes, that would be the dream role. So, I don't see myself holding the camera, forever. I would be eventually moving into a position like that.
Okay, so that's my point. So we only consider St. Louis and Miami, in my opinion, not for the lifestyle I'm living, but for the mountain I'm climbing. So does St. Louis move me further up the mountain? I can always leave St. Louis later. I could spend 3 to 5 years in St. Louis and find another great opportunity because of the current experience I got in St. Louis, and I can move somewhere else. I don't buy that you got to stay in St. Louis for 10 years. I don't buy that. Now, you could also say no to St. Louis, and I'm fine with that too, as long as you are looking for opportunities in South Florida to keep climbing the mountain. So, but I'm never going to be a guy who lets my geography, my zip code determine my dream. But now if you can climb the mountain by staying in South Florida, I'm fine with that too. Is that answering your question that you never kind of really asked?
Yeah. I just wanted to get your kind of mindset. I've been, inside my own head a lot and asking a bunch of people. It's good to hear just your perspective on that.
Where are you at? Where are you at? Before you asked me the question, which way were you leaning?
Yeah, I mean, like when I first got the opportunity in St. Louis, my gut told me to wait, to keep building my skills and apply to some of the bigger brands down the road. But then, the more I thought about it, the more, my grandpa's voice came back in my head. My grandpa, he's fiscally conservative, and he's like, he would have taken the job and he would have told me to take the job. And I'm, he's a smart guy. So,
trust your gut.
It's kind of
by the way, you have
to,
listen, you got to trust your gut. So grandpa's voice is your brain, but your initial, when someone says trust your gut, I've read about this. There's been a bunch of research done by, scientists, physicists, and all this, and I'm sorry, not physicists, neurologists and stuff like this about this, and this idea of the gut. The gut is the heart. It really is. They've done research on this. Yeah. And they've researched a bunch of chess players, world-class chess players. They put a heart monitor on them. And here's the quick finding. Every time before these grandmaster chess players made a move that hurt them, that was a negative move, their heart rate spiked right before they made the move. Isn't that wild? And so what it was is their body, see, we always go, well, don't trust your gut, use your brain. Well, no, your gut, your heart is connected to the brain, and your body will tell you this is not a good decision. When you get a feeling, it's not just some random, well, I'm going to take a shot on my feeling. It's the same, the heart, that physical feeling is coming from the brain. It's the same. And so I think you got to trust your gut. I think your gut says, this isn't the right move. I need to be patient. and not take a promotion now, not take the good. I'm gonna say no to the good so that later I could say yes to the best. I think that's where you are.
Yeah, that's, my gut said that, and it's just it's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's not a problem. Listen, I think you stay.
Yeah.
Is that what you were asking me for?
Yeah. Just to get your perspective. I appreciate that.
But listen to me, bro. I think you stay, but again, you stay because you're looking for the bigger opportunity, and being in the Miami area, there's no question it's a better area to get connected with big brands. No question.
Yeah. It's definitely, I feel like there's a little bit more risk in staying, but that old saying, risk, greater the risk, greater the reward.
I don't think this is risky.
Like
I don't think it's risky. It's not like you're not gainfully employed. You've got connections there. You're working. You're doing what you enjoy. This is about finding the right mountain to climb, but the type of mountain you're looking to climb. As long as you're going towards that, I'm fine with that. But don't ever I just love where I live. Well, great. Yeah, okay. Look. Do I love Nashville? I love Nashville. Nashville's awesome. But I didn't move here because I love Nashville. I moved here, folks, because this is where I'm supposed to be. I mean, Ramsey Solutions could send an email today and go, listen, we're moving to backwoods, whatever. I can't offend anybody. Guess what? That's where I'm going.
I found the place that I'm going to retire.
Oh, really?
Hiawassee, Georgia.
Really?
Yes. It's,
That's up in the Georgia mountains?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's a pretty area, Joe.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Well, thank you. We can have this conversation offline. I love that Joe just decides to tell us his retirement destination right in the middle of the show.
Well, my point being is that I found it, and now when I get the chance, I'm going to come back when I retire.
Exactly. But the point is, folks, don't let your zip code determine if you're going to pursue your dream. Don't do that. I'm telling you, it's never going to work out well for you. I promise. All right. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, a couple questions from the chat room, and I'm going to teach on the 3 C's that will help get you unstuck. You don't want to miss it. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
The Ken Coleman Show continues on from Ramsey Solutions Studios in Nashville. So thankful that you're spending your very valuable time with us as we talk about you, your purpose, which is actually not about you, it's about others. You are created to fill a unique role. You are needed. You must do it. I want to help you with that process and help you make that dream a reality. 844-747-2577. Give us a thumbs up. By the way, if you're enjoying the show and you're watching, it's right down there below the video window. And subscribe if you haven't already, and share the show. If we're talking about somebody or there's a caller, talking about a topic that you think is going to help other people, please share it. We're growing. There's nothing like this on YouTube. People aren't on YouTube searching for this. We want to let them know that there's a purposeful conversation. There's hope and clarity on YouTube, and they can actually call in and get help. We can also take your questions via the chat room. Let's do that. Danny Singh writes in, should I tell potential employers that I have 3 master's degrees? I'm worried about being overqualified. I certainly would let them know in the education section of the Ken Coleman resume. We've got a free resume guide at kencoleman.com for those of you that are new, and you need to read it. We have a free template in there, but we also have 6 additional really spiffy templates that look very different than anybody else, and that's on purpose, as you'll see when you read the resume guide. You can buy those additional templates for, I think, $9.99 in the store. But yeah, I would put it in the education section, but worried about being overqualified. So here's the deal. if your salary requirements or desires are in range with what they're offering, then you're not overqualified. The only time anybody hears that overqualified statement is when they're asking for too much money. And then people will say, well, you're overqualified, which is basically saying you're overpriced or you have outpriced yourself. That's all that means. Can we just be honest? So putting the 3 master's degrees in there isn't going to make somebody go, oh, we can't. No, because what I would do is say, hey, the salary requirements are in line, or if they start talking salary to you, or make it clear, hey, don't let the master's degrees discourage you. I've done my homework on the marketplace value for a job like this, and I'm interested. If you're really worried or somebody says that to you, go, hey, we haven't talked salary yet. You might be surprised. Those degrees, I got them, and either you're using them or you're not. And if you're certainly not using them, you go, look, I did it, but I'm on this path. I want to be here. So, if you think it's an elephant in the room, call the elephant out, and people are going, oh, okay, great. Shy Guy writes, how do I build confidence to share my ideas and meetings at work? This is a good question. I'm going to say it's preparation. I taught on this last week. Relentless preparation leads to reflexive performance. I think that's true here. If you're a shy person and you don't have a lot of confidence and you're going, how do I build confidence? So what I would say is, and this is going to lead into teaching, Joe, so this will be great. I'm just going to roll right into this. So when you've got these ideas that you want to share and you're really shy, don't necessarily in the moment share them, because if you're really struggling with confidence, what you want to do is practice the idea. So write the idea out, think it through, prepare it in your mind. If you have to share it in the mirror or put on your phone memo, an audio memo, and share it and then listen back to it. But the idea is that when you get enough time to prepare your thoughts and you review the thoughts, and so you're super clear on how you'd share the thoughts, the confidence will rise. So that's how I would have you do that. That's perfect. Okay, we're going to just transition. This is great because I want to come from Shy Guy's question and teach a little further on this because it really does dovetail off of it. So a lot of you out there are stuck. In this case, Shy Guy is stuck. He doesn't have the confidence to speak up at work and share his ideas. Some of you are stuck in different ways. And so there are 3 C's that will help you get unstuck, no matter where you're stuck or how you're stuck. So let's teach through the 3 C's. Here we go. Clarity is C number 1. Confidence is C number 2. And courage is C number 3. Let's walk through those. Clarity. All right. So I just described this process to Shy Guy. He's got some ideas. They're percolating in his head. He doesn't have the confidence to share them. So I sent him back to preparation in order to get really clear. That's what I just taught him. So for you, you're stuck in your career. That's what we're seeing. People are stuck. Well, I'm in this career. I got into it out of college because it was my degree. It's because of the college I went to, because my mom and dad, blah, 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 blah. You're stuck. So to get unstuck, we always want to retreat back to clarity. Even if we've been clear, let's say that you're somebody who knows what you want to do and you felt like you knew how to get there and you started out on the path and all of a sudden something happened. Company went out of business, COVID got you laid off, whatever. Let's just call it you were on the path and a giant mudslide comes down and washes out the path and you're standing there staring down into the ravine going, I'm stuck. Okay? Whatever the situation is, what do we do? Or you weren't clear and you just feel like I'm on this path to nowhere. All right, so we retreat to clarity. And that's the get clear stage, the first stage of my 7 stages to meaningful work. I want to look at my talent. What do I do best? Let's get clear. Let's refresh my memory. What work do I love to do? I look forward to this work. I want to perform this work. I have high emotion for it when I think about it and engage in it. High devotion. I don't want to stop it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And finally, what are the results that I want to produce? What is my mission? I want to accomplish this. Talent, passion, mission. That's the sweet spot. We retreat to clarity and we get kind of warm because we get inside that sweet spot, all right, where we see, oh, as long as I'm doing this, or rather, as long as I'm using this talent to do this work, passion, to produce these results, I'm really, really clear now. Okay. And that clarity gives me confidence. The clarity gives Shy Guy the confidence to speak up in those work meetings. Clarity leads to confidence. Oh, I'm clear. I know that I know that I know that I know. That's the idea I want to share. That's the Shy Guy example. For those of you who feel stuck, and once we get clear, we remember, or maybe for the first time we discover, oh, this is it. This is what I want to do. It's why I want to do it. Clear. Clarity leads to confidence. Shoulders are back. I know who I am. I know what I want to do, and I know where I want to do it. I'm confident. I know I've got the talent. I may have to work and get qualified. That's stage 2. But I know that I can do it. And I know that I should do it. So clarity leads to confidence. And then this is my favorite part. Confidence fuels courage when we need it most. Courage doesn't just happen. Confident people display courage. I know that I should do this, even though it's hard, even though I'm being attacked, and so I have the courage to stay. In the face of criticism, in the face of difficulty. I know I'm supposed to do it, but it's really hard. That's courage. I'll give you an example of how all three of these things, clarity, confidence, and courage, manifest in a blink of an eye, and we've all seen it, heard about it. Some of us have done it. I want those of you who are watching right now to think of a story, whether you read about it, saw it on television or on social media or whatever, of somebody, a woman or a man, heroically putting their life or their bodies in danger on behalf of someone else. I want you to think of a heroic act. Okay, got it? You've thought about it. You remember it? Clarity, confidence, and courage happened in a split second. Here's what happened. Hero, walking through life, normal day, not looking to be a hero. Something bad happens in front of them. They witness it, and instantly they go, this person is in danger. That's clarity. I need to help them. I can help them. That's confidence. Dive in, pull them out of the burning car, dive into the water, pull them out while not even realizing how dangerous it is for me. That's courage. Because listen, their clarity, that person needs help. I'm here right now. I've got to help them. That's clarity. I can help them. I got to do it right now. Go. Clarity led to confidence, and confidence led to courage. I can help them. I can save them. I must save them. And now I go. And anytime you read these stories and you see the interviews of these heroes, after the fact, they're just like, I just acted. I didn't really think too much about it. Well, they did. They didn't think long about it, but they thought about it. And they acted. It was extreme clarity in the form of they felt like somebody's life was in danger, or it was absolutely obvious that someone else's life in danger, and they acted instantly because it was crystal crazy clear. Someone must act now. It's me. Boom. Courage just took place. Where'd it come from? Extreme clarity that led to extreme confidence and extreme courage. So back out of that scenario, that story, that analogy there that you all understand. And that's where you summon great courage, is when you are in a place of clarity and a place of confidence. The courage will show up when you need to step into fear and doubt. You can do this. And that's how you do it. My time is almost up, but before I let you go, I want you to know that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.